Oh, we got a almost completely sunny day. Right where the sun is a bit hazy, so I am losing a bit of power. I got my new 255 B grade panel that I'm about to hook up to my main system and get some serious power pumping into this power jack. And as you can see, I am putting almost as much as I've been putting lately. Not the most. It is actually going up right now. And well, let's see what another 250 watts will do. And this panel is directed at the sun properly. You can see by the shadow, it's almost perfect to the sun. And now I'm going to quickly connect this and I'll restart the video as soon as I'm done. Alright, it's now sloppily connected through this temporary cord. Now, what are we putting out? Extra 250 watts has only jumped it up ever so slightly. Should have jumped it up more than that, but I think I'm getting to probably the peak of what this inverter can do, so the efficiency is going down the drain. There we go, it just hit 800 watts out of this 1200 watt inverter. Over 700 watts here. Let's see what the power meter is saying. And we are still taking 3.3 kilowatts. That is because I have a hot tub and a bunch of things that are running. I wonder if we tilt this panel just so ever so slightly more. Maybe reposition it a little bit. Just got it resting on the brick here, so I got to be really careful. Make sure I push it into the snow. Pretty good. Now let's see if we can get some more power. This is extra long. It's only, I think it's only 14 gauge cable, so I'm losing watts in that. Nope, we have not gained a thing. It looks like I had it, still have it, about the peak of what it can produce. And I'm gonna go get the laser thermometer and see what's up with the temps. Just went down on watts there for a second. Now it's back up. Alright, I got my temperature gun here. Okay, 803 watts there, 703 watts here. So we are 100 watts out on this meter. Let's see what we're at here. This is Celsius. Oh, only at 22 Celsius, which actually does feel like, because it's not very warm. Okay. It's because up until I just cleaned the panels, and I was only putting about 500 watts into the grid, and it's really cold outside, so we should see this steadily increasing. So, the efficiency, I would say putting about 1,000 watts into this thing is the most efficient you'll get. Or less. Anything more than that, you really gain almost nothing. I'm going to turn the one string of panels off. This is 700 watts off. Now this is 1,000 watts going in. This is not like, there's 1,000 watts on this roof and the sun is way over there on a very low angle. And so I got a 250 there, 250, 250, 250. And it is saying 580 there, 536 there. And now I want to turn the battery charger on this one just to see what kind of amps I'm getting in. The batteries will top off real quickly if they are full. 17, 18 at 14 volts, 26 at 14.4 volts. Now it's going to start regulating it back. Yeah, okay. 15 volts, 25. They're fully charged to the batteries. Now it's limiting it back. So that is the one stringer panels. I'm going to turn this back on. Watch this go back up. Alright, I'll get back to you guys once it's heated up a little bit. Maybe the fans will turn on. Alright, it's been running for about 5-10 minutes now. Putting out 785 and 694 here. I do realize it's not as far out as I've been saying. I have this charger charging my electric weed whacker. So that does take about, I don't know, 15 watts or whatever it is. So that is over 700 watts by 15 watts or so. So it's not as far as I've been saying it is, but it is still out. And you hear that sound? It is making that weird high-pitched sound because the fans are trying to spin up again. So I want to see what the temperature is. So 83, 86. It's pretty cool. This thing, well, it is really cold today. It's like, I don't know, -8 or something Celsius. But watch, I'm gonna blow at the fans and they'll start spinning. There you go. Now they're spinning super slow. But they're spinning, that high-pitched sound went away. Let's see how fast it cools down. Fans are starting to speed up. Definitely cooling down though. It was 86 somewhere here before. Oh, there it is. Fans are speeding up some more. They're actually revving up a little bit here. Yeah, they're getting going. You can tell they're not high quality fans. Already sound like they have a bearing issue. At least there's two if one fails. Oh no. This thing's really starting to rev up a bit there. Even though my output is down, but that might be because it's getting warmer and less efficient. Or, who knows, maybe there's some haze in front of the clouds. Yeah, there's a bit of haze. Anyways. Oh, the fan's turned off. That's it. And that's it. Look at that. Oh yeah, that cooled it down. Look at that. Oops, sorry. Right down to 77. 83 to 77. And it was 86. Now it's down to 84. So, hey, I say the cooling on this thing works quite well. It is surprising. Look, there's the sun's peeking out of that haze a little bit. So far, I really like this power jack. I hope it lasts a while. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to my kilowatt, but I went from in the 30s to in the 60s in, what was it, like a week? Maybe a week and a couple of days. So I put 30 kilowatts or 25 kilowatts in a couple of weeks. Or a little over a week, I mean, not a couple of weeks. Maybe a week and 2 days or something like that. Because we've been getting a lot of sun recently, and this is winter. So in the summertime, I think this thing's really going to be pumping some power into the grid. So you can watch it go up here. It goes pretty fast, so let's see, total hours this thing's been plugged in. And that counts night and all the cloudy days as well. Still putting out quite a bit of power. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Oh, and just as I said that, the fans are trying to turn on again. I really don't like this starting low, going to high power. Because you get this high pitch and you and there they go. So that, I think, is a retarded design. Retarded. Let's see what the temp is now. Really isn't that high. This thing stays pretty cool, at least in the winter. Okay, thanks for watching. I did a little test. I don't know if you can see this. It was, it put out 25 amps at 15 volts on this charge controller, which is 700 watts of panels on my roof. So 700 watts of panels right now is only putting out 375 watts through this, which is 97% efficient. So this thing is actually more efficient than I thought, because this is just a little over half of what my panels are rated for. So that means the 750 on the other roof is about this again. So that's now 750 watts plus the 250 watt panel, which is outside my garage right there. So really, I would say I'm really only pumping into this thing about 850, 900 watts right now, maybe 950 at the absolute most, real watts going in. So to get 800 out is fairly efficient for this cheap inverter. Excited to see what it's going to do in some direct sunlight when I'm putting over 1,000 watts into it. But when I start getting comfortable with some temps, I'm going to buy another one and only hook a few solar panels to it, because I know it can't handle it. It's a cheap inverter. Alright, thanks for watching. So I shut my grid tie off. Everything's still the same. Solar panels out there. My wife is running the dishwasher, the washing machine, music inside, lights, fridge, freezer, furnace, all that good stuff. I only have the one hooked up right now because this is the 700 watts coming in. And this one I have 1,000 watts, but this is wintertime. There is not actually that much power coming in, so I'm going to turn it on. Let's see what we get here. This is winter amps. The panel out there is not going to be hooked up permanently. It's going on the commander. It is not going to be part of the system, but I want to see what it's going to be like in this type of weather. Should be close to 40 amps, I would think, close to these things max. There we got 35 amps there, 28 there, 41. There we go, we're past its max. And I'm going to watch these for temperature as well. So, we got some power coming in here. We got, what is this, 70 watts, 70 amps coming in. 70 amps coming in, 70 amps going out. The volts on these are inaccurate once you start putting lots of amps in. There, we got 44 amps there for a second, because the lines, the losses in the lines. But there's a real voltage on the batteries. And so that's 40 amps at 13.8 volts. So I'm not sure what that is. That's 1,000 watts of panels, so I'm not sure what that comes out to be. I'll have to do the calculator later, but that'll tell you what kind of watts I'm getting here in the winter. And the other set of panels is 13.5 at 28.7 amps. And that's my total amps coming into this, and this was outputting around 800 watts was what this meter was saying. This meter was saying 720. I say that because it was running that thing for charging. Now we're running some higher amperage in here. We got 10 amps AC coming out, 100 amps DC going out of the batteries. The washer probably kicked in. That's it. All right, so the house is pulling a lot of power now. She's got the dishwasher and the washer machine running, pulling 130, 120. It's going back and forth because the way the washer machine runs. It was up past 130 there for a bit. Anyways, this is saying 12.3 volts. The bus bar in here, where all the small batteries are hooked up, is saying 12.7-ish volts. But what's the battery saying on individual batteries under this big of a load? How are we going to do this? This is a negative. This is where the inverter hooks onto. Let's go to positive here. Oh, what are we at now? Still at there. Okay, let's go here. Get 12.47 there. 12.5 something there. See, this keeps changing up and down, up and down. So it's kind of hard to do this test to see what each battery is actually saying. When the load's the same, they're pretty well the same there. It just changed again, down to 92 amps coming out. Now we're up to 112 again. Okay, that's pretty good. What about if I went by just this? This is the furthest battery away from the load. Wonder what kind of volts it's doing right now under this heavy load. Boy, it's cold. It's hard to get stuff under here. Okay. Oh, look at that. We're pretty stinking balanced here. The way I have it set up. And that's that. What are we putting into the house still? That went up to 44 amps there for a bit. Wow. This is a 40 amp rated charge controller. Doing over 40 amps on that one, 27 on that one. Let's see, does it feel like it's getting warm yet? Nope. And no, not even slightly warm. No, not warm at all. Actually quite cold. Wow, that's impressive. I'm impressed with this of these cheapy MPPT tracers. I bought them from two different distributors, but they're both the same. They both work really well. Very, very happy with them. So we're pushing pretty good amount of current in, but we're taking a lot more out. Like 211 amps coming out of the batteries. Almost 20 amps AC. I love this inverter. To be able to do that continuous is just ridiculous. Anyways, this is just a quick test to see what the panels are outputting. And now I can do kind of like a little efficiency on that inverter. Thanks for watching, guys. So one thing I see that I need to do, especially with this one here, it's showing 13.3 volts at 45.5 amps coming in. This is a 45 amp charge controller. It's doing 45 amps, not even complaining. That is awesome. And this one, the sun is moving away from peak for these panels, but they're still doing all right. But these go in onto this bus bar in here and are distributed throughout these batteries. Then I have 3 runs of 4 gauge going to different spots. One there, one in the middle, one in the far end. And that's showing 12.48. And that's 13.3 volts. That's almost a volt difference I am losing in these lines. I think they're warm. They are actually, they're not warm, but they're warmer than these ones. Let's see, these ones are showing, it's a little bit different, but it's not as great as these. This is 3 strands of either 12 gauge or 14 gauge I'm using in parallel, and these are single strand of 6 gauge. They're not warm, but they're warmer than these. These are cold, and these are a little colder than body temperature. So I need to upgrade those for summer for sure. That's going to happen. It will be upgraded. These ones, on the other hand, might be okay, but I still kind of want to upgrade these. There's a room for a huge lug in there, so I think I'm going to run some 4 gauge cables from those charge controllers down. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take this booster cable, cut it up. Perfect, 4 gauge cable. Cheapest way to buy cable I know of. That thing it's 20 feet long, positive and a negative, so 40 feet worth of cable for 30 bucks. Less than $1 a foot. I don't know any way of getting it cheaper than that. Still pulling retarded amount from the batteries. And this is only saying 12.1 volts, so we have a 0.3.5 loss in the 3/0 cable. And this is a 350 amp fuse. And it is just a tiny bit warm. Just a tiny bit. Which is fine. I was pulling over 200 amps for a while. And another 300 here. 250 here. Those are all the spots where power comes off the batteries. Yeah. Okay. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to show today. Alright, thanks for watching, guys.